team in the couch. Meantime, the Mets were facing the Dodgers and Yasiel Puig. Get ready for this. Top of the second, runner on first, Justin Turner. Playing everyone down the right field line. Here's Puig. An absolute cannon to get Marlon Byrd trying to go to third.
Puig right now, he's in a place where he gets excited about balls like that because he thinks he has a chance to make every play. Now, he doesn't always do it defensively or even on the bases trying to take an extra one, but things like that, plays like that, excite your team, they excite the fans, and they give you that extra energy to keep pushing and trying to win a division.
Excitement here for the Mets as Byrd with a 3-run home run, his 18th. Mets up 4-0. Bottom of 4. Dodgers threatening with the bases loaded and 2 away. But Dylan G will get Mark Ellis to fly out to Juan Lagares, and G is out of a jam.
And G has had a fantastic year, really kind of figured out how to control all these pitches. He has 4 pitches. He's much more selective in when and how to use them.
Bottom of 6, Dodgers down 4-2, threatening again. G strikes out Tim Fedorovich. 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned, 4 Ks. Top at 7, Byrd, a triple shot of cycle, but Chris Withrow will strike him out swinging. That ends the inning. It's 4-2 right now in the top of the 9th. We'll keep it posted if the Mets bullpen can hang on for the victory here. To the Atlanta Braves as we stay in the National League East and see what transpired with this team that right now is running away with this division. Early on, Jason Heyward jumping all over this pitch.
I mean, he's got such long reach. I mean, that ball's sliding out of the zone, and he's able to still put the barrel on it with authority.
Later on, with 2 on in that play, caught in left, or was it?
Well, he sold it even if he didn't. And this is one as an outfielder. When you go for it, you got to tuck that wrist really quick.
Hope you don't break your wrist.
And you'll be spending 15 days somewhere other than the field.
5-0 Braves in the 6th. Phillies trying to make some noise. And who else? Dominic Brown going deep because he's had a phenomenal season for the Phillies. To the 9th we go with Atlanta up 6-3. Craig Kimbrell is in. 98-mile-an-hour heat. How'd you like to face him?
That was just, here it is, hit it. You can hit this here. I'm going to throw it right down the middle.
Doesn't need to disguise his pitches sometimes.
He tells what's coming, and it'll still be very hard to hit him. I mean, what electric velocity he has.
Jason Heyward, by the way, 2 for 5 at 11th home run. He is hitting .371 this season when batting first. He's .224 batting from all other spots in the batting order. Here's Heyward talking about that collision. In fact, let's talk first about the play. We'll go inside the diamond here, Chris, and see a play involving Heyward. That was a little bit tricky.
Yeah, you see here that kind of Bermuda triangle that goes either down the right field line or left field line where you have 3 fielders converge. Pasternicki doesn't play a whole lot of second base, so the feel and timing with Heyward's not there. But look, Pasternicki calls for it, Freeman gets out of the way, Heyward's calling for it, but not emphatic because he's used to Dan Uggla being there and Dan Uggla understanding that relationship, the range, and how Heyward plays right field.
Could have been a messy situation for not 1 but 2 Braves, and here's Heyward speaking about it afterwards.
I called the ball pretty early, and unfortunately, I don't think it heard me, and that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes it gets loud, and sometimes the crowd gets into the game, and you can't hear it, and unfortunately, he had to come out of the game.
Is that just an issue, Doug, a miscommunication? It's that simple sometimes?
Sometimes. And look, my thing is, you have to call it so loud that you scare the infielder. I mean, it's not like, I got it. You have to yell at it so loudly and over until he literally gets out of the way for his own fear. I mean, that's the level you have to go. And look, sometimes, look, if you're a good team, you have packed houses, it's loud, there's going to be moments. But for the most part, I believe if you scream the entire way, everybody's going to get out of your way.
Yeah, he said he called it early, but he also didn't call it late. And to that point, you call it early, but you also have to make sure as you're coming in those last couple of steps that he knows. Because sometimes you can say it at the same time. And you could say it loud and say it twice loud, and you both say it and you don't hear each other. So the outfielder's got to take charge. He's got to be the one that directs traffic. It's much easier for him coming in than for that infielder coming out. So whatever you...
All right. So you got quite a bit of midweek highlights. Midweek 17. Truth to tell, I sort of lost count heading up to the All-Star game because the Sunday edition of the Week in Review, Baseball Tonight, suddenly disappeared for like a couple weeks. And our buddy Tim. Hey, welcome to Talk Radio version of the OMSR. So I think this is in 3 parts. I'm looking at the notes here. This is the baseline show so that you know what the other 2 parts are. But this time around, midweek, I do think it's 17. Got quite a bit of teams and how they're doing, and you can see at this point, based on the record, October's not too far off, who's got a chance and who doesn't. So, in part 1, for sure, Pirates are looking good in that record versus the Cardinals. And it wasn't too long ago, we got this on the channel, that the Cards had the best record. I think that was pre-All-Star. Pedro Alvarez is hitting, still kicking butt. But Liriano's pitching as well. Then you got Cincinnati Reds versus the Chicago Cubs side of things. Got some highlights from Mets versus the Dodgers. And another example of Yasiel Puig's prowess, the throw that he made in that game. So check that out. And then I think we're going to part 2 at this point. Phillies versus the Braves. Phillies are not looking World Series form at all. Very surprising. Tigers versus the White Sox. And Detroit's looking like they're poised for possibly another run. Miami heading to KC. Marlins versus Royals, that is. The Royals were a hot team, a couple weeks back, but you look at the record now and you got to scratch your head. And I think going into part 3, or that might be part 3, start of part 3, we've got the Indians versus the Twins, and a game-saving highlight reel there towards the end. Houston versus Oakland. I forget his name. We'll put it in the title. You know where you are based on the title. All right, so just a reminder, the OMSR is a show. Video highlights courtesy to ESPN and Major League Baseball. All the other original content, the overall concept, copyright to the OMSR. Vis-a-vis the DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act, covers the fair use standard, minimal use, and derivatives, which is what we adhere to. So like the Good Ship Sports clip Lollipop on YouTube has sailed in the sense of trying to bring something from any sporting event, especially on YouTube. It's really tightened up. The days of 3 years ago and before of yore is what I'm saying to you. Gone. Sailed out of port. So we do this sort of, it's not the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it does count as original content, and we invite you to get involved vis-a-vis comments. Just keep your thoughts respectful to fellow tubers and the show. And the cool thing about this, I think, in the sense of we've been covering baseball off and on, well, not off and on, but like twice a week. And you can see the development and the evolution throughout the season. So that when the post-season comes, it's not a surprise to anybody. At least on our channel, we gave you plenty of info along the way as to who's doing well and why, and who's not and why. All right. Thanks for watching those silly DUIs while you're out there. Later days, more signature plays.